So hello everyone, I welcome you all to this edition of the Hindu newspaper analysis. This is Friday, July 1, 2022, the Hindu Delhi edition, and we'll be first identifying as usual the most important news followed by a detailed analysis of the same. So before moving forward, let me first answer the yesterday's question, and yesterday's question was to identify what latitude separating Lakshadweep Islands. Okay, and you know it is 8 degree north. Fine. So we have two important latitudes here. Okay, it's something like this, or better let me make it like this to make a clearer picture. Okay, now it is good. And you have your Andaman and Nicobar Island, then you have your Java, Sumatra, Java. Okay, and here you have Lakshadweep Islands. Okay, so this is almost 10 degree. Okay, 10 degree north, and here you have your 8 degree north. Okay, we have what here? 10 degree channel. Okay, and here we have 8 degree channel. So remember this thing, this often comes in examination, and one thing is there that this shows that what? It shows that Lakshadweep is more northward, right, than Nicobar Islands. Why I am focusing on this Nicobar Island? Because it is a hotspot. Okay, biodiversity hotspot. Fine, it is home to large forest in India, right? So that's why I am focusing on this. So okay, you got the answer. Nobody has written yesterday's answer now in the comment. Now let's move forward and look today's question. The question is, you have to list 5 factors that affects agriculture in India. Also write briefly, not more than 50 words altogether, how these factors affects agriculture. Okay, why I am giving you this question? Because from today, 1st July 2022, what we are going to start in answer writing? We are going to start agriculture. Okay, very important and very interesting topic with respect to civil services examination. So we'll be doing that. Fine, now let's go on to identify the most important news for today. So the political drama has unfolded and reached its conclusion in Maharashtra. Okay, and now Eknath Shinde is the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and Devendra Fadnavis is his Deputy CM. Okay, and the vote of confidence will be held tomorrow. Now since he is the CM, so he is entitled for the pensions and all. Health Ministry directs state to improve vaccination coverage. Okay, Sai visited. Okay, fine. Bank and NBFC have capital to withstand any shocks, says RBI. Okay, fine. Bumrah to lead India's 5th test against England begins today. Okay, Bumrah is a captain or what? Okay, let's see. This is not important. Okay, government. Okay, this is important. Small saving rates that was expected to increase in this inflation has not increased. Okay, PM should urge people to maintain peace. Okay, fine. Okay, there is nothing here. Okay, fine. Okay, fair enough. If Sonic heart still beat for their Wag. Breaking over Rajan's failure to pursue outfit core in the Twaroja spark ground well of support to the Bulgarian partnership. Okay, fine. Not required. Okay, there is nothing here. Okay, there is contest cannot carry on. Okay, fine. There is nothing here as well. Uh-huh. Weaken the anti-defection law. Fine. Okay, this person has again the moral content of democracy cannot be eroded, and India expects better compliance of. Okay. Not required. The same thing they are writing every now and then, so I won't be reading that. If you want, you can read it. There is nothing wrong in it. Home and abroad, PM Modi G7 commitments on protecting freedom will face scrutiny in India. Okay. The selfishness and graft of rich drive inequality is collaborated in India. Okay. Fallout of why this article has come. Okay, we'll see this. Very briefly, we'll see this. Why I'm not getting that feeling that this could be important, right? Okay. Should endorsers be held responsible for claims in advertising? No, don't go for it right now. These debates are not going to come in examination. And the police and the journalist not required. And what is this? Okay, monsoon sickness. The free fall of rupee. Okay, we'll do the gist first. If required, we'll go inside. I don't think we have to go inside. I've explained you a number of times this topic because this is in the news regularly. Quartal and the road ahead. Okay, we'll see the gist. Road safety data. We'll see the gist only. Things are same only there. The art of reading a film. Transit. Is she Huma Policy? Leela, yes. Okay, deactivate Twitter account is back. Modified PSLV places 3 foreign satellites into orbit. We have to see what modifications have been done. Okay. We'll see this. Okay, only 2% in presidential polls fray, right? Nomination paper of 92% rejected. Oh my god. Total 94 has given nominations. BJP leadership makes Fadnavis accept demotion. Only on Thursday morning he was told Shinde would be the CM and he would have to make the announcement himself. Okay. Rebels will regret trust with BJP, says Sanjay Rao. They were themselves in trust with BJP and they have not regretted. They used their vote power to become the party working, so they should not lecture. Whatever is being done is due to them. Okay. Fine. There's nothing here. How come this island is called Snake Island? It looks more like a tetragonal island. Good progress in okay. Parliament dissolve. Fine. Biden backs Senate rule for change called SC ruling outrageous behavior. Okay. Banks have capital to buffer any stock. Fair enough. May core sector output rises 2.5% sequentially. Okay. Fiscal deficit touched 12.3%. Oh my god. Okay. Initially it was 6.9%, projected to be 6.4% this year, but external debt rose to about 620 billion. Okay. And then we have the sports page. Fine. And in general we do not get important news with respect to our examination on this page. Okay, so let's move forward and get things in perspective. So we are going for the analysis of the news because we have identified the most important news. Okay, so we had a news here. Government keep small saving rates, interest rates unchanged. Move belies hope of high amid surge and yield from the bond. Look what had happened. Let me tell you the story first. What happens is, this is a bond that government offers and this is a saving scheme. Okay, that also government offers. Now say bond is marked at 7% or 8%, right? 8% it is marked at that you give me this much rupees, I'll return you this much plus 8% of this much. And saving scheme is also marked at 8%. Suppose that for simplicity, right? So what happens is, due to inflation, what will happen? Initial inflation was say 5% and final inflation becomes 6%. So what is the net rate? Net interest available 8 minus 5 3%, and here net interest available is 2%. So it is what? It is going in loss due to inflation. Loss means distress selling, because people will sell it. Distress selling means, look, what is the nature of bond? It is bought on face value, bought on reduced value and given at par value or face value, right? So if it is a 100 rupees bond, then it was bought on say 98 rupees and you get an interest of 2 rupees, right? So distress selling will do what? SP will become 95 or 90, like this. So it is falling. So what will be yield? Yield for 98 rupees was 2 rupees, because 2 rupees you have gained, you will get 100 rupees when it matures, right? Now yield becomes 5 rupees and here yield become 10 rupees. So you see yield is increasing, okay? But what is decreasing? The SP, the selling price of this bond. So with increasing yield of bond, what the people were thinking, that to make it more lucrative for investment, okay, its rate will be increased to 9%. Example I am taking. So the money free here, money freed will be parked where? Will be parked here. You understand now the concept? Parked here, and when it is parked there, then this is more sold. So this is a concept. So the prices of bond, for the yield of bond increasing, means that there is money in the market, and to divert that money to this small saving scheme, it was thought that it was expected that the rates will increase. Okay, now look, moves believes hope of hike amid surge in yield for bonds. You understand? So surge in yield means increased yield. Increased yield will lead to what? Free capital need to be attracted to this small savings. Okay, now let's see. Government has left the interest rate on small savings such as PPF and NSC unchanged for the July-September quarter. The hike in small saving was expected in view of surge in yield of government bond, to which the returns are linked as per formula amid surge in inflation. I said to you that more the inflation, less is the yield, more is the yield, and increase in key interest by the Reserve Bank. Yes, this is also the thing. Look, inflation is controlled by changing policy rates, that is repo rate, reverse repo rate, right? You understand this? So on account of two things, inflation, increasing inflation, and change and the change repo rate is what expected that. So this is a simple point you can understand. Okay, fine. You understood this concept. I just wanted you to understand the concept. This is a very easy concept, but people tend to ignore it. Okay, we didn't had any news here on these pages. We directly move upon editorial, where I think only one editorial is there today. Okay, this example can be used as a case study to support gender equality and not female equality, right? Because this is a more broader term that is in discussions right now. Okay, we have this one article here, just one article and two articles, right? So we have two articles today now. I will be doing this here only. Let's do it here only. The selfishness and graft of rich drive inequality. So they are saying that it is the selfish and graft behavior of the rich that is the factor for driving inequality. The central argument of Amasa et al. That this is seen in countries with weak institutions is collaborated in India. So she says that India has a weak institutional setup which is driving a kind of inequality. Let's see. Okay, in the flying end, it is written that the rich are scum of the earth in every country. Perhaps not all, but many. The continent that is selfishness, the contention that is their selfishness, criminality, and corruption aggravates inequality. Much experimental evidences corroborates this hypothesis. Okay, I understand now. This is a paper presented by some person whose gist has come. Okay, let's see. Okay, case for selfish inequality is constructed in this paper based on the analysis of Gallup World Poll of 2018. That is, whether the rich are richer than poor, whether the rich are richer than the poor because they have been more selfish in life than the latter. They demonstrate the non-productive grabbing behavior of rich in typical countries with weak institutions stemming from weak rule of law, malfunctioning bureaucracy, and corruption. Hence, people in such countries are more likely to believe that rich have become richer because they have been involved in selfish grabbing activity. Okay. The study's final analysis shows that popular belief in selfish rich inequality is positively associated with a distillation of our econometric analysis of Gallup World. This is a relevant article. This is just accusing someone something without any proof. I cannot write this in examination directly. Okay, so I won't be reading this. If you feel the need, go through it. That's good. That will at least increase your comprehension power, which is required for GS2 of prelims, right? I won't be reading that. Let's see this. The fall of the rupee. First I'll read the gist, then I'll explain you. Then you go through this article, you'll understand. The Indian rupee hit all-time low on Wednesday. Since March this year, Fed has been rising benchmark interest rate, causing investors to pull capital away from emerging markets such as India back into US. This in turn has put pressure on emerging market currency, which has depreciated against the US dollar in so far. Okay, RBI has been trying to rein in domestic consumer price inflation, which is at a high 95-month high of 7.8 by raising interest. Okay, let's see what is happening. So we are talking about the downfall of rupees, right? So rupee depreciation we are talking about. Okay, so how it is happening? See, I've explained you, I think every now and then I explain in this newspaper, right? I often explain the economic things because I have seen that most of the people are not comfortable with economics. Okay, so this is Indian economy, okay, and this is USA economy. Let's see for dollar only. Okay, here we had $8,000, or say here we had $1,000, dollar, or let me make it more real, $1,000 billion, and we had 80,000 billion rupees. Okay, here we had similar kind of thing, but rupee do not travel here, so rupee do not work in USA, so we won't be writing that. Okay, so what is the ratio of dollar to rupees, or say better, rupees to dollar? Ratio is 80. Okay, that is presently we are seeing 79.06, so let's take it 80. What happens? This $1,000 billion, this $1,000 billion will be something with RBI's forex. It could be FPI's investment. It could be other private investment kind of thing, private investment, etc. So we are just focusing on this. Fine. So what happens is that here is a person who is an FPI investor, okay, foreign portfolio investor. He has an, okay, one more thing, inflation here is 8% and inflation here is 4%. Interest rate available here is 12% and interest rate available here is 2%. Okay, it is 0.5% or 1%. For simplicity I am taking 2%. So what is the net IR? It is 4%, 12 minus 8. And what is the net IR here? It is almost, or market IR as 5% for understanding simply. 1%, net IR is 1%. So if you invest something, then you will get interest like that. Okay, so this FPI person invests based on two criteria. Number one will be, what is number one? Net interest rate available, and number two, strength of economy. Okay, so I am making it very simple. There are other factors also, but these two are the major factors, right? So what will happen, that investor, if anything, let me write it like this, dynamics of these okay factors will lead to FPI investment in India or USA, depends how sentimental he gets for something. Okay, so what will happen now? Just understand. Say the inflation increases, or let me write it with that red pen so that it becomes clear. Say inflation increases to 10%, so this decreases to 2%, and here inflation has increased to 4.5%, then this decreases to 0.5%. okay, but what had happened? Fed increased interest rate from 5 to 6%, say. So what will happen? Plus 1, that is 1.5% is still available. Okay, so net effective rate has increased to 1.5%. okay, all the inflation has increased, but since Fed has increased the rate also, so it has increased by 1.5%. RBI also increased the rate, interest rate say become 13%. okay, so what is the difference? 10, 13, 3%. So this will become 3%. Now we see that RBI has also increased the rate, and USA Fed has also increased the rate. So now what will happen? Look, Indian economy, okay, is weaker than USA economy. This is a fact, and we must acknowledge it at this part. Okay, so what will happen? This person is getting, for this case, USA case, what he is getting? Increased net interest rate. Initially it was just 1%, now it is 1.5%. And second thing is getting is, or let me put it this way, increased interest rate in stronger economy. So what he'll do? He'll pull out the fund from here. So he'll say get about 1000 it is. He'll get say $500 billion out of India, right? And he'll put it in USA. So what will happen? there is an outflow. Okay, this is only written in newspaper as FPI outflow. You have read it many times. Okay, so this outflow will lead to what? It's very simple if you understand. So initially there was $10,000 billion versus 80,000 billion rupees, right? Now what had happened? 500 means $9,500 billion versus 80,000 billion rupees. So what was the ratio rupee to dollar? It was 80. Now what is the ratio rupee to dollar? It is 95 or say 80,000, okay, by 9,500. This is somewhere about 19,595 and 160. Okay, so 160 by 19, this would be, if it is 20 then 8, so this would be less than 8 or something like that. Okay, 80,000 okay, 10, yes, okay, fine, okay, fine. So 800 by 95, so okay, 160 by 19 is 95. Okay, 160 by 19 is the result. That of course will be greater than 80 in any case. Okay, so we see that rupee depreciated. Okay, why? Because dollar has gone out. Now you got the point. Now whenever in by any way, if dollar is going out of the Indian market, then rupee will depreciate. Now what are the ways? One way is this one. So ways promoting dollar outflow. What could be the ways? One could be foreign investment, that means pullback of foreign investments. Okay, second thing could be declining forex reserve. Why? Due to skewed balance of payment. Okay, these two are basic major. Fine. So if you have to stop it, then what you have to do? You have to get back the foreign investor. How will you get? So increasing interest rate better, or say decreasing the currency conversion risk. Okay, like this thing. And forex reserve, then you have to increase production, you see, so that it could be sold. Right now you see that dollar rupees to dollar, in rupees to dollar ratio, what happened? There was 80,000 was fixed and this rupee was changing. Okay, now if this increases, try to understand, if from 80,000 rupees become 1 lakh and this decreases, then what will happen? From 80,000 I am saying it become 100,000. Okay, and this was 1,000, 10,000 or 1,000, something like that. 80,000, 10 and 1,000. Okay, so from 1,000, 1k, it become 2k. So what will happen? 80 rupees to dollar, and here 50 rupees to dollar. You see there is appreciation. You see dollar is also increasing. Okay, let me tell you further. And this is also increasing, so appreciation. But now 80,000 by so it will become now the case is 80k by 1k to 100k by, say this is not 2k but 0.5k. So what will happen? 80 to 200. So you see there could be appreciation and there could be depreciation as well. So by this dynamics, by changing these things such that this increases, and along with this there is also inflow of the dollar. In this way, this thing, the balance of payment or the depreciating rupee is understood. Okay, so you understood entire thing. Look, against dollar, US Fed has been raising its benchmark rate. Okay, causing investors seeking higher return to pull capital away from emerging markets such as India and back into US. This in turn has put pressure on emerging markets. Same thing. And other developed currencies has also depreciated. So forex, we know, is a sum of 5 international currency So on dollar is increasing and other are decreasing. So this would also lead to the same thing. You understand the concept? If you understand what I have told you, this is a very easy article. Okay, therefore I gave time to this, or else I wouldn't have given time to that. Okay, a new analytic series on road safety worldwide, published by the Lancet, proposes that India could cut accident related to 20 related deaths by 25 to 40% based on evidence that preventive interventions produce good outcome applied to well-known risk factors. Yes, this is true. Global burden of disease data. A statistical model was constructed to estimate the number of lives that could be saved with intervention in respective areas for each country. An average of 20.5 thousand lives could have been saved in India with reduction of speed, about 5,700 with helmet intervention and 3,200 with seat belts. You understand how important these things are. The author of Rasen pointed out that legislation without enforcement ends in failure. India amended its law in 2019, but implementation by state government is not uniform or complete. Okay, fine. This is the thing, you go on and read it. There is nothing there in that. What should I tell you? Okay, now let's see. 3-4 more news are left. Modifies PSLV, places 3 foreign satellites into orbit. Okay, on a hot summer, as ensured by clear blue skies, ISRO workhouse launched the 55th mission into sky with a pencil-shaped plume of smoke. Okay, and it is the second, I think, second dedicated mission of NSIL. Okay, the modified PS took off from the second. Okay, what is the modification? You tell me this only. We had to change some changes to improve the production of PSLV so that we can meet growing demand of the customer, he said, explaining about the fourth stage and the poem. What is this poem? Okay, here. PSLV orbital experimental module. Okay. We'll take PS4 stage 2 stage and give it some energy to do some cost effective experiments in orbit, etc. Fine. After primary mission, PSLV fourth stage is going to write some poems in the orbit. Okay, it's going to be functional after this. Racing of satellite taking over the control of the primary mission computer to another computer. The fourth stage will be powered. Generated power board will be stabilized with altitude control and hot. Was some experiment by some of the young startup. Okay, fine. So it is simply that the fourth stage. Look, first stage, second stage, third stage, and this is the fourth stage. Okay, so satellites will be placed in the respective orbits, and find that this will not be thrown back. This would also remain orbiting. Its control will be given to other computer, and this will be helping in some of the experiments in the space for entrepreneurs and all those. Okay. Now let's see if anything else is okay. It is vital project IOR. NSA has called for coordination. The changing geopolitical has led to international rivalries and all those things. Okay, he was addressing the first meeting of multi-agency maritime group chaired by the. Okay. Fine, you give it a read. It is easy. It is from the notes only. Okay. Let's see if anything else is remaining on these pages. Nothing here. I don't think anything would be here. Okay, non-economy page we have 3 news. Fine. So let's see. Financial stability report underlines improvement in lenders' asset quality, NBFC capitalization. So this FSR, which is published by RBI, underlines that there has been improvement in the bank lending asset quality. Right. India's SCB as well as non-banking financial company NBFC has sufficient capital buffer to withstand any shock that may emanate from pandemic or ongoing geopolitical tensions in Europe. The Reserve Bank of India said in its biannual FSR released on Thursday. The bank has bolstered capital and liquidity positions while asset quality has improved. NBFC remains well capitalized. Market risks are rising as spells of volatility are unleashed by foreign portfolio investment outflow. I just now explained you what is this. And sharp appreciation of US dollar. Why? Because of the changes in the Fed rates, right? Observing that the outlook for the global economy was shrouded by considerable uncertainty due to war in Ukraine, elevated commodity prices, supply chain disruptions, and darkening growth prospects. The RBI said stagflation risks are mounting as tightening financial conditions threaten to restrain the pace of growth. Given the global volatility and spillover risk to Indian economy, Indian financial system was well capitalized and returning to profitability, RBI governor wrote in the forward to report. SCB maintained robust capital position with a capital to risk weighted asset ratio CRAR rising to a new high of 16.7%. Okay, while the GNPA slipped to 6-year low of 5.9%. It was 6.6% as per this budget. Okay, fine. Non-performing asset ratio fell to 1.7 and the net non-performing fell to 1.7 from 2.3. Okay, the provisioning conserve ratio PCR increased from 70.9% to 67 in 70 from 67. Okay, so provisioning coverage ratio. So what is the say you have given out 100 rupees, let out 100 rupees, then or say the bank has given up 100 rupees, then now they have 70 rupees for buffer against this 100 rupees. That if a part of this 100 rupees up to 70 rupees turns into non-performing asset, then they will be in a position to counter it, right? Macro stress test for credit risk revealed that SCBs are well capitalized and all banks would be able to comply with minimum capital requirement even under adverse stress. Nothing that network analysis indicated that total outstanding bilateral exposures among the constituents of the financial system continue to grow, and the RBI said the share of SCB in bilateral exposures remains in largest although lower than pre-pandemic level. Obviously, it will take some time to build up. Contagion analysis. A simulated contagion analysis shows that even though losses due to failure of 5 banks with maximum capacity to cause contagion increased in March 2022 vis-a-vis September, this would not lead to failure of any additional bank. Okay, so it says that if group of these 5 major banks say fails, then how it will affect the economy? Yes, it will pull down the economy, but other banks won't be affected. The external sector is well buffered to withstand ongoing terms of trade shock and portfolio outflow. Okay, now let's see the fiscal deficit one. The fiscal deficit touched 12.3% of financial year goal in of financial year goal. It was 6.4%. Okay, projected. So 12.3% has already been touched. Okay, Union government fiscal deficit ended at 12.3%, mainly on account of higher expenditure according to official data. Fiscal deficit is the difference between total expenditure and revenue of government. No, this is wrong definition. Fiscal deficit is the difference between total expenditure and non-debt creating asset of the government. Okay, or difference between expenditure, total expenditure and debt creating asset. So if we remove that, then we get the fiscal deficit. We get the fiscal deficit, that is actually the debt of government. Okay, so we have this total expenditure minus non-debt creating assets. This is the definition. This is the definition that it has given is for revenue deficit. Fine, this is wrong definition. It indicated that total borrowing needed by the government. Now, this is correct. It is debt of the government, but this is wrong. Revenue of the government. Difference between total expenditure and revenue of the government is known as what? Expenditure minus revenue. It is the budget expenditure. Okay, so budget deficit it is talking about. Fiscal deficit is to 2.812% of budget estimates, revised estimate of 2021-22 during the corresponding year earlier. In actual term, it is 2 lakh crores. Okay, the country fiscal deficit projected at 6.4 of the GDP this year and against the 6.7 in last year. Okay, as per data, the total receipt of the government at end of the May was 3.81 lakh crore and 16.7% of BE for 2020 budget estimates for 2022-2023. The collection was about 18% of the budget estimates and the corresponding period for last. Okay, let's see this also. External debt rose to 47.1 billion to make it 620 billion in fiscal year 2022. External debt it is talking about. So debt, if we classify, so we have many kind of debts. Okay, I don't like all these colors. Okay, let's take black only. Debt can be internal or domestic and can be external. Okay, internal debt example I'll take, it can take from bank, it can take from market, it can take from RBI. External debt from multilateral institution, from bilateral, or it can be balance of trade thing, right? Merchandise trade and all those things. Now in this context you see that, okay, external debt to GDP declined to 19.9% from 21.2%. Now external debt to GDP is a good thing, or means high external debt to GDP is good or not? Japan and all have more than 100% of this thing. If you can service that debt with a profit, then it is good. A simple statement. Okay, so external debt rose to 620 billion, recording increase in about $50 billion. Reserve Bank of India data shows external debt declined to 19. Debt to GDP ratio declined from 19.9 from 21.2. Valuation gains on account of appreciation of US dollar vis-a-vis the Indian rupee and major currencies including Japanese yen and euro was estimated at $11.7. What is this thing saying? It is just saying that, look, forex, foreign reserve, is made up of what? Currency, 5 currencies: dollar, euro, yuan, okay, and there was this zen, Japanese currency, zen I think it is, na? Or Japanese currency, and one more was there, I don't remember. Okay, so there are 5. Fine. So what had happened? This has increased, means this has appreciated. So initially, if you had $1 which you got for 70 rupees, or for $1 you had 70 rupees, now for $1 you have 80 rupees. So 4x increased. That means 4x increased, and this has also increased. So overall 4x has also increased. Okay, but there is a caveat. Now let's see. Valuation gain. This is called valuation gain. Why it is called valuation gain? Because just value, there has been gain in value and not the actual currency holding, right? Initially also you were holding $1, now also you are holding $1, but due to this currency, these things, initially it was 70, now it is 80. So in your rupee term you are holding more, but actually you are holding just whatever you were holding earlier. So it is therefore called valuation gain, okay, and not the actual gain. Okay, excluding the valuation effect, external debt would have been 58 billion instead of 47 billion. You understand now? So actual debt was 58, make it 60 billion. Okay, actual debt. But what happened? There was so debt is negative and valuation. So you had some profit of about 10 billion, right? So what had happened? Your net debt is close to 50 billion. You understand this? Okay, India's long-term debt rose to 500 billion according to, so you have about 60 billion, means 50 billion at end of March, and your long-term debt is about 500 billion, and increases 25 billion over level. Okay, during the same period the share of short-term debt in total external debt increased to about 20%. You see, so you have this here. Okay, now let me see. External debt can be classified as short term and long term. Okay, so long term debt is about $500 billion and short term debt is about 21%, and that would be, okay, let me see where it is. A share of short term debt in total external debt increased to 5, this one increased to about 20% of external debt. We have to see how much is the external debt, and we already know how much is the external debt. The external debt is 620 billion. Okay, so it is, say, 620 billion. So what is this? 120 billion. Okay, so this is your short term debt. At present is 120 billion, almost. Ratio of short term debt to foreign exchange reserves increased to 20%. Okay, you have some forex reserve here. Okay, and forex, so it is about it was 636 billion then, and we have lost something on this forex account, right? Let's see what have we lost. if we have that data, then it's good. Or you know that $636 billion was in 2021 December, right? So on account of this outflow, and if we say the valuation things, if we see, it would be about some 30 billion dollars, right? So this ratio 1/5, 20%, you see it is 20%. So you can analyze that 120 billion is 20% of x, then x is, you tell me, 120 by 20 into 100, this is 600 billion. So I was correct, almost 600 billion is your forex reserve, right? So 620, 600, 620 billion. Okay, US dollar denominated debt remained largest, 253%. Means look, your debt can be denominated in US dollars, can be denominated in euros, yen, yuan, whatever it is, right? So this one was more than 50%. In dollar terms, you had more than 50% of the debt. Separately, the RBI said net claims of non-resident Indian increased by 5.6 billion. Okay, this rise in net claim was due to larger decline in Indian resident overseas financial asset. Oh, obviously, because of the changing in the, for fighting pandemic, what is the global economy is trying to do? What? To rein in inflation. What they are trying to do? They are trying to bring up the policy rate so as to cut down the inflation, right? So this is the thing. I hope you have understood this. This is very important data sheet. You may know it, you may not. There is nothing wrong about it. Okay, then we have come to end of today's newspaper analysis. I hope you like it. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share. Till then, I take a leave from you, I take a part from you. You study well and go after your dreams, and rest not until you achieve what you desire. So with this positive note, I say a goodbye to you all. Jai Hind. So friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also, keep studying hard, keep following your dreams, and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.